everyone, my name is Archie Kalepa, and I'm just here to talk to you guys a little bit about the equipment that we're using today in some of our trainings, and the stuff that we're really comfortable with in all kinds of conditions, and the development and how good this equipment is today. Having ridden sleds for the last 30 years, the inflatable sled has really opened my eyes in regards to how comfortable it is, how light it is, how well it works with the ski when you're driving the ski, with the cutaway. It's just it's a really amazing piece of equipment, and for a couple of reasons. Not only the design, but the materials, the inflatable materials. And I'll tell you this is the materials that are being used today, it really it's come a long way. And I think my sled like this is actually going on like 4 years of use, and I've been using it now for for every class that we've taught, and beyond, going out having fun, going foiling with friends, going towing, and it's just amazing the durability that these things have had, and the comfort of how they feel, and just the design of it. It really makes the rescue part of it works really well together with the ski. To the details, if you look at the D-rings and the strength of the D-rings, they're really enhanced, strong. And if all this double rings and the positions of the side rings and the angles, this is stuff that we've R&D'd for the last 8 years, and it's come a long way. The type of inflatable material that's using, the webbing that's incorporated on the core and the inside of the sled is really amazing stuff. And then the cutaway. And then the cutaway. What really happens here, this is where all the jet drive comes out right here, and it keeps it really stable. And I gotta tell you this, having ridden sleds for the last 30 years, the inflatable sled has really opened my eyes in regards to how comfortable it is, how light it is, how well it works with the ski when you're driving the ski, with the cutaway. It's just it's a really amazing piece of equipment. So one of the things with this cutaway, it's been patented by Waterman Unlimited, and the idea was developed by Brian Kelana. And one of the things is, only by an inflatable sled can you have this cutaway, because if you had a hard sled with a cutaway, it would break right here, and you wouldn't have the ability of the cutaway. A couple great things about the cutaway design. Number one, when you're driving the ski, the wash from the impeller, the outtake, comes right through here and keeps it centered. It's not doing this all the time when you're riding away, because the wash is coming out here, and it just keeps the sled centered. It's not doing this all the time when you're riding away, because the wash is coming out here, and it just keeps the sled centered. More importantly, or probably the most important thing of this, is the ability for you, when you're making a rescue, to sink this with your feet here, so that this bucket, this open bucket, allows you to straddle the person up the sled. And that's basically what this was made for. But when you can incorporate that into the right width of the sled, how it works performance-wise, making a rescue, or just driving, you know, it's this really helps enhance the overall performance of the jet ski itself. And you know, keeping a person stable when you make a rescue, when you're having to come in at a high rate of speed, you don't have to worry about the wobble. That is all eliminated because of the wash coming right up the middle of the sled. It keeps it really stable, and so that's really nice to have. And then the you know, the handle situation, where the handles are all placed, it's just really nice. And you have a wide sled to work with, where if you had to put more than 2 people on the sled, it doesn't affect the performance of the ski or the sled itself. One of the other things that we've come to understand with the cutaway is when you're picking up a surfer that actually is paddling with his board. When he paddles up with his board and the cutaway, with the cutaway, he actually comes right up because the wash is right here. So it pushes the bottom of the board up and then pushes the nose, and you slide right into the board, which is really nice with the surfboards. Where in the early days, when we had just the straight sleds with no cutaway, it was really hard for the guy to climb up on the board while he's on his surfboard. So it was really hard for him to climb up on the rescue sled with the surfboard. But now having the cutaway, it almost like automatically puts you in that position and pushes you right up the middle of the sled. So in regards to if you have to reverse the ski or back up, you know, one of the great things about having an inflatable sled is its reaction. So say you're reversing down, because it's an inflatable sled, when you're backing down, it has a tendency to stay more floaty. But it will also, with the cutaway, it will get stuck and start digging, but the minute you just back off on the throttle, it'll pop right back up. Versus, I think a heavier sled, it'll stay down longer. So this has a tendency to, number one, it's lighter. Number two, it's inflated with air, so it'll pop back up quicker. Which, because it's already floaty and lighty, when you're reversing, it has minimum effect on your ability to reverse quickly and effectively. You know, one of the things that pushing the abilities or the capabilities of our equipment in training is, you know, not only are we teaching students, but we're learning at the same time. And one of the things that we did was we tried to see how much people we could put on a ski, on the sled, on the ski, and still have some operable capabilities. And I think we put like, I know we put 7 people on the ski, counting the driver, on all portions of this ski, and he was able to maintain 25, 30 miles an hour with 7 people on a ski. Now go ahead and try that with a ski that doesn't have a wing and doesn't have the right sled. You'll probably only get 4 people max. With everything you see on here, having to perform a multiple rescue, 7 people, no problem. In the surf, through the surf, rough conditions, we're able to move 7 people from point A to point B safely, effectively, and at a good rate of speed. Okay, so one of the features that I want to talk to you guys about on the sled is, you notice we have a couple different type of handles. We have some hard handles at the very bottom here, and then we have some soft, nice grip handles in the midsection, and then we have some hard handles again on the upper section. So when you initially come in for a rescue, or you step off the back here to grab someone, you want to have a hard handle, something that's very rigid for your initial grabbing. And then once I'm straddling the person up the sled, I want to have something that's soft and grippy for a couple of reasons. One is I don't want to have hard handles up here, because as I get further up the sled, the operator knows that I'm in a much better position for him to expedite or get out of there pretty quickly. And sometimes having a hard handle up there, that happens, your hand can get stuck and you could possibly lose a finger. So this eliminates that. If he was to violently or suddenly gas it because he had to get out of there, my hand would break away free without my fingers getting caught. The other thing is, how we rig our sleds. Everybody has their own preference, but I think a starting point is that you want to make sure that you have the proper hookups. So if you look back here, we have a metal D-ring, and so we always want to rig up metal to metal. It's really important that part of your lashing, some parts of it, there's some webbing such as this, and you want to make sure that that's adjusted appropriately. The other thing is, with these particular sleds, you don't put D-rings on the top, which can take away tows. We use the existing factory D-rings that are located on the starboard and part rear bottom of the ski. And we've also found out that that also helps eliminate danger points when making rescues. And I think it's just, it's out of the way, it's clean,